This is day 26 on the countdown to under 40,000 for my student loan. The perfect perseverance I got to pay off my student loan came from me passing my engineering test, which took me 7 years to pass. There was almost no journey to start, however, because in order to qualify for the engineering exam, I had to get 2 years of experience working under engineers, and also I needed 4 reference letters. Well, when I was 1.5 years into my 10 years as an engineer with 6 months left before I was supposed to get my engineering 2-year engineering experience, I started hearing about rumors of layoffs, and I didn't pay much attention to them because we never got any type of official documentation saying there would be a layoff. However, with 3 months left at that 1 year, 9-month mark, I got my layoff letter saying I'd be laid off exactly 2 years from the time I started. So I was losing my job. In addition to that, I needed to get the 3 reference letters because I thought I had plenty of time, so I didn't push myself to get them. So I needed to get those 3 remaining reference letters to give to the board. So you needed 2 years of experience along with the 4 reference letters. The problem I was having when I was talking to the engineers was, though some of them had more years of experience than me and weren't getting laid off, they were getting to move around. They were getting moved around to vacancies, like for the people who got laid off for them to fill. So I was having trouble getting them to focus, fill out the information properly, and also just give me the reference because they were worried since I didn't have the 2 years experience, I was not properly prepared for the exam. However, I only had 3 months left before we laid off to the 2-year mark. So this required me to answer a lot of their questions about what I plan to do after layoffs to get my career going again. Talk about some of the projects I'd worked on while I was there, like I did construction work where I'd help put concrete down. I did curb and gutter work. I did some asphalt work. Also, I did a little bit of surveying work. So I explained the work I did to them. And then they also wanted to make sure that I was completing the exam portion. So with about 2 months left, I got the 2 exams, but now I needed 1 exam more. And after I talked to about 4 or 5 people and they just were either too busy or worried about their own position to help me, I had to go to my survey chief because as an engineer, you could have someone with a survey license also recommend you for the exam. And the person I went to was Ray, who I worked with for about 3 months while I was in a survey crew. The only problem with Ray was it took him 10 years to pass his land surveyor license, so he was not going to be easy. Just even though I was getting laid off or didn't have the proper documentations, he didn't feel any mercy for me, which was good because he made me learn that you're not entitled to anything. So he wanted to see what my work experience was. He wanted to go talk to a few of my supervisors just to see some of the projects that I was working on. Wanted to find out if I was applying for the exam for the PE. And it's what I would do to keep my career going after I got laid off. So I kept calling him, letting him do his own background check. And finally, with about 1 week left, he gave me that final letter that I needed to qualify for the exam. So though I was losing my job in the layoffs, I was able to get my 2 years of experience because at least they laid me off at the 2-year mark. And I was able to get the 4 letters for reference to apply for the exam, which allowed me to get on that journey to the 7-year to finally pass my exam, learning you can't take shortcuts. And if you do hear some shortcuts, you have to customize them to use them for yourself with your own skills. So what I want to see is even before the journey, there's a journey before the journey where there's a struggle I had where I lost my job, so I had to go out and scramble to find a new job. And even before that, my career was sort of impacted because now I needed to pass this engineering exam. But first, I needed to qualify for the exam, so I need to get the years of experience. And also after that, I had to get the reference letters, which took 4 reference letters of me scrambling. So that just shows you how even when you think you're almost ready to start a goal, you have to prepare yourself to start the goal. And the lesson is, as we head to countdown day 26 to 40,000, the lesson is you may be prepared for the journey, may be more prepared for your answering the questions to solve the problems than you think.